This Torah class is brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.
Good morning, everyone. Bruchim Abam. Welcome to the Kollel Agra de Pirka here in New York. Welcome, everyone. This is the penultimate Agra de Pirka shir before Purim, Haba Aleinu L'Toiva. And we have very exciting material today. This is one of my favorite all-time Purim Shiurim. This is Mamish Oyam V'Noira. And you know how much I like the Purim Shiurim. So if it's a favorite Purim shir, it's really very exciting material. Today's shir sponsored by the Israeli family of Great Neck Leila Nishmas, their father, Meir ben David Neshama Shavin Aliyah, B'Yomel Tzor shir for the whole family, Abi Askel Tzedek. Shoishanas Yaakov Tzahala V'Samecha. The rose of Jacob.
Share the screen, Rabbi.
I share when I share. You know, I can't share everything. You know, but we're coming. Shoshanas Yaakov Tzahala V'Samecha. The rose of Yaakov will be jubilant and joyous. Beroisam Yachad Techelas Mordechai. When they see together the blue will of Mordechai. Teshuasam Hayisal Lanetzach. Their salvation will be forever. V'sikvasam b'chol dar v'dar, and their hope in all generations. And we end off this famous tune, whichever tune you sing, whether you sing Majits, that I highly recommend that one. Shoishanas Yaakov Tzahala V'Samecha. If you don't know that one, you have plenty of time to learn it before Purim. Or if you sing the classic and you like your regular Shoishanas Yaakov, it's also good, very nice, you know. But if you ever want to change it up, check out the Majits one. But whatever tune you sing, we end off, we say, Oror Haman, Boo Haman, Asher Bikesh Abdi, Baruch Mordechai, yay, Mordechai, HaYehudi, Arura Zeresh, cursed is Zeresh, Eshes Mafchidi, the wife of the one who frightened me, Berucha Esther Ba'adi, blessed is Esther, and V'gam Charvayna Zachul Atov, and we'll throw a bone to Charvayna while we're at it. Okay, very nice. So this is a pismine, this is a song. It's a song we all enjoy singing. However, this is not just a song which is customarily sang, but actually there is there's some of a great importance to this, and now I'm going to share with you, since you asked so nicely. The Yushalmi says in Megillah, Paragimel, Rav says, not there is a song that many sing, Tzarech loymar Oror Haman. You need to say Oror Haman. Arurim Banav. Cursed are his sons. So it's not enough that there is a song, but you need to say it. In other words, if you read the Megillah on Purim, and you give out Mishleach Manos and Matanos Avyoinim, and you do Machzas HaShekel, and you eat Hamantashen even, and you leave shul early, Purim night, and you don't say Oror Haman, you blew it! Because you didn't say Oror Haman Arurim Banav. Not only that, but it's brought in Masechta Soifrim, that in Parak Yadalid, Halacha Vav, V'oid amru shekein sarach litein shavach v'ha'ida al ha'geula. You need to thank Hashem for the redemption, v'al ha'padus, and for the freedom. V'choisam baruch Hashem ha'kal nekom sam g'mol l'chaleveim u'magin l'tzadikim ha'shia amayim yatzaneim. And then you need to say Baruch Mordechai, Brucha Esther, Bruchim Kol Yisrael, Oror Haman, Arurim Banav. Cursed are all the bad people, all the Rishaim, all the liberals. They're all Arur. It's not enough just Haman. You have to curse all the wicked. Now, not only that, but this is formulated in Shulchan Aruch. In Shulchan Aruch we say in Siman Taf Reish Tzadi, Tzarech Sheyoymar Oror Haman Baruch Mordechai Arura Zeresh Brucha Esther. What in the world is going on here? Why do I need to say, blessed is Mordechai, Cursed is Haman. Why do I need to curse Haman? Asks the Baal Nesivos Hamishpat in his Sefer Megillas Sesarim, V'lazer nira dinei amru chayiv adam loimer b'paraya. You need to say. You're obligated to say. Baruch Mordechai. Lama lo yischayvu b'chol pam. You know, you don't have to do this on Pesach. We don't get up at the Seder. Boo, Paroi. Cursed is Pharaoh. Cursed is the Egyptians. Cursed is the Sphinx. Blessed is Nachshon ben Aminadav. Blessed are the Jews. Blessed is Miriam. We don't curse the bad guys and bless the good guys on Pesach. On Chanukah, we don't say, Boo, Antiochus. Blessed is Yochanan Kohen Gadol. Cursed is Elifornis. Blessed are the Chashmonaim. We never do this. You know, why all of a sudden when it comes to Purim are we, maybe we should all go out and get that, that big finger that they have at the stadiums for the football team. Maybe we should get a big finger, go Mordechai! Start get loudspeaker, go on cheering for the good guys, booing the bad guys. What's going on all of a sudden Purim? We have to curse the bad guys, bless the good guys. What is up with that? There's an interesting custom codified by the Ramah. The Ramah says that the Minhag Yisrael is to wear a mask on Purim. The Ramah speaks about the custom of wearing a mask. The Ramah does not mention the custom of wearing a costume. In fact, the story goes that the Ramah himself would go around Purim night wearing a mask, reminding everyone after the Purim Suda to say over the Kriya Shema. But we know Minhag Yisrael, and by the way, I see a lot of you who I know on the Zoom, who I know you guys wear masks on Purim. Some of you guys are going to be wearing a mask of Donald Trump. Some of you are going to be wearing an even worse mask of the president before him. Some of you are going to dress up like the guy in Iran. I know somebody who's going to dress up like the guy in North Korea. And some of you wear masks always on Zoom, and I have no idea where you are or who you are. I just see initials. So maybe that's good for Purim, but you could come out. Unless you're wearing a mask now, you don't want me to see your Purim costume. But the Ramah does not mention Purim costumes. The Ramah does mention masks. However, we know Minhag Yisrael is to wear costumes. And many Jews wear costumes on Purim. Some of you are going to dress up like any offerings. Anybody have any good costumes this year? Nobody. Nobody's dressing up. Anybody on the shiur today? Anybody here? No, nobody's here. All right. At least I'm recording it, You're there? Who's that?
Listening intently.
Okay, good. I'm just, I like to push buttons just to make it interesting, Okay, good. Rabbi Miller, what are you going to dress up as on Purim?
Still thinking on it. I don't know.
Still thinking on it. Okay, this is a very...
I think I'm gonna dress up as myself. It's funny all year round.
Okay, there you go. Reb Heshi, what are you dressing up as this Purim? I can't hear you. You're muted. Reb Heshi is dressing up in such a controversial costume, the Zoom doesn't allow it to play. But it's not for... Okay. They want me to get back to the shiur. They say, stop joking around. We're a serious bunch. We're listening to the shiur. So the Tamei HaMenhagim says that the Minhag Yisrael is to wear costumes on Purim, al Simchas Purim, and this is not a empty matter, but rather this commemorates that which the Gemara teaches us. The Gemara says in Masechta Megillah that the Rashbi was asked by his Talmidim, Rebbe, Mibnei ma nischayvu soinehem Shabbos Adar Klaya. Why were the Jews of that generation liable to be destroyed? So the Rashbi said to his Talmidim, my dear Talmidim, you tell me. So they said, because they were neneh from the Suda of Achashverosh. So Reb Shimon Bar Yochai said, really? So then only the Jews of Shushan should have been destroyed. So the Talmidim turned to the Rashbi and they say, Rashbi, you tell us! And the Rashbi said, because they bowed down to the Tselem in the time of Nebuchadnezzar. So they said, Rashbi, if they worshipped Avodah Zarah, Eza Masei Panim Yesh B'Davra. Why did God favor them? Why did God save them? And the answer, the Rashbi said, is Heim Loi Asu Elo Lefanim. They only acted outwardly, but inwardly their heart was l'shamayim. So too, the decree was an outward decree, but it was not a genuine decree. By the way, the Rav Shlomo Zalman Auerbach writes that that's Chassam Sofer also says this. That's one of the reasons why we give Shalach Manos on Purim, because in times of Purim, I couldn't eat your food. Because as far as I'm concerned, you're an Ovid Avodah Zarah. I knew that I only worshipped Avodah Zarah outwardly, but I don't know what's going on in your head. So I couldn't eat your food. And you couldn't eat my food. Because as far as you're concerned, I'm an Ovid Avodah Zarah. So when the Purim miracle happened, and clearly Hashem was saying that the Jewish people only worshipped outwardly, but inwardly their heart was l'shamayim, now we could eat each other's food again, and now we could now exchange Laffy Taffies and eat from each other's food again. That's the reason brought by Rav Shlomo Zalman Auerbach. But we're going to investigate, as all Minhagei Yisrael are Yisudasam B'Harei Kodesh, they are founded on the holiest and most well-founded sources. We're trying to analyze what is the reason for costumes on the Yom Tif of Purim. Furthermore, we know that one of the main themes of Purim is the idea of v'nahafeichu. U'v'shneim asar chodesh u'chodesh adar. We're Perek Tes Pasuk Aleph. B'shloisha asar yoim b'ai. On the 12th month, on the 13th day, Asher higi advar hamelech v'dasai lehei asayis b'ayim Asher sibiru oivei hayudim l'shloit b'hem v'nahafeichu. And it was turned upside down. We know this is a major theme of the Megillah, that Asher Yishlatu Hayudim Hema B'Soineihem, that we dominated our enemy. Why is V'nahafeichu such a major theme in the Megillah? So we come to a great revelation of the Targum, and this time, this is in fact Targum Yonasan ben Uziel. Targum on the Chumash is not Targum Yonasan ben Uziel. Why? Because it says Yonasan ben Uziel. It was made up by the printers. Targum Yonasan ben Uziel on the Chumash is Targum Yushalmi, the second edition. Targum Yonasan ben Uziel was not written by Rabbi Yonasan ben Uziel. It's Beferish Gemara Megillah. Targum on Nevi'im was written by Yonasan ben Uziel. See, I got some people to change out their costumes. Good. Targum Yonasan ben Uziel, and says on the pasuk in Megillah Perek Gimel pasuk Vav, it was disgraceful in his eyes to send forth his hand against Mordechai alone. Ki higidu la yasam Mordechai vayevakesh Haman lehashmir es kol Yudim asher v'chamachus Achashverosh am Mordechai. So Haman did not want to destroy just Mordechai, he wanted to destroy the entirety of the Jewish people. Says the Targum, V'hava choich kadamai, it was a laughing stock before him, it was lowly in his eyes. La'ishata yedai l'mikta yas Mordechai b'chaldai, just to kill Mordechai. Arum chaviule, because they showed him the Mordechai asim in Yaakov, that Mordechai came from Jacob, the shakal min Esav Abba Da'avoy, who took from his grandfather, the Haman of Haman, who is Esav, Yas Bechurta v'Yas Berchasa, the birthright and the blessing. And since the Jews are the nation of Mordechai, Haman wanted to destroy the entirety of the Jewish people. Says the Targum Yonasan ben Uziel that Haman's gripe with Mordechai was not a recent strife and fight, but his beef with Mordechai is rooted and dated back to ancient times, to an old family battle between Haman's grandfather Esav and Mordechai's grandfather Yaakov. because Yaakov stole the birthright and the blessing, Haman could not forgive, Haman could not fargin, Haman could not overlook, and therefore he wanted to avenge the robbery of Yaakov Avinu, stealing the birthright and stealing the bracha.
Haman was a big Talmud Chacham. He knew he didn't steal it. He still sold it to him.
No, he tricked him.
He sold it to him.
Yaakov connived him out of the brachas, connived him out of the birthright, and Haman didn't like it. Now, moreover, we have a major revelation here of the son of the Gra. In Tehillim, we know, Perek Chav Beis of Tehillim, Lamnatzech al Ayelas HaShachar Mizmar LeDavid, by the conductor for the morning star. The Gemara in Yuma says, why is Esther compared to the morning star? Just like Esther, just like the morning star is the end of the night, Esther is the end of the period of miracles in the Torah. Esther is the last miracle. Maybe. Actually, I was going to give Shiur on this year. I never spoke about it, but I have so many Geshmaka and Yanim on Purim Meshulash that it might have to wait. We have Geshmaka Shiurim coming up. By the way, if you join us only Monday morning, I see some faces that I only see them Monday morning. You know, we have a Shiur Wednesday night at 8:30. It's very good stuff. If you want to join us, we'll welcome you. And Wednesday night, I won't egg you on as much as I do Monday morning, you know, because we have people in England and Australia, and they're much more proper. So I can't joke around as much. You know, I have to be on my best behavior for those shiurim. But I want to speak about an interesting inyan. Esther is called the end of the night, the morning. If anything, you should call Esther the end of the morning, the beginning of the night. Think about it. You would think the era of the miracles would be the morning, when God is clear, and Esther, which is the last miracle, should be the end of the day and the beginning of the night, when God is hidden. But somehow the period where miracles stop are analogous to the day. This is a question raised by Rabbi Yonasan Eibeshitz, something I would like to speak about. Oid chazoin l'moyed. Okay, so Perek Chav Beis is a parak all about the miracle of Purim. We say Elokai Ekra Yoimam V'Loi Saneh V'Layla V'Loi Dumiali, which is a remes to Mikra Megillah B'Yom V'Layla. We have the pasuk Keli Lama Azaftani. We have the pasuk V'Yata Kadosh Yoshev. So many of the psukim related to the miracle of Purim are in this parak. And in this pasuk we have Sivavuni Parim Rabim. Great bulls surrounded me, Abire Vashan Kitruni, and the mighty ones of the Bashan encircled me. Who are these mighty ones? Says Rabbi Avram ben Hagra. Who Haman ubanav? Haman and his sons were the mighty ones. Zera Amalek, the seed of Amalek, Shehim Abirim, because they are mighty. Mitzad Habracha Shabirech Yitzchak V'Haya Ka'asher Tared. You know why Haman and Amalek are mighty? Because they were blessed by Yitzchak, V'Haya Ka'asher Tared. The comments of Rabbi Avram ben Agra are hafla v'fela, are very difficult to understand. What do you mean they are strong and mighty because of the blessing that Yitzchak Avinu gave them? Yitzchak didn't bless Esav. Yitzchak blessed Yaakov. What does the son of the Gra mean that Amalek and Haman are strong because of the blessing that Yaakov blessed them? That Yitzchak blessed them. Yitzchak didn't bless Esav and Amalek. He blessed Yaakov. But what we have to understand is, even though in fact Yitzchak blessed Yaakov, but when Esav came back into the room, and Yitzchak says, who's that? And he says, Esav b'chayrecha. So what did Yitzchak do? Yitzchak charad gedola. Yitzchak says, so who's the first guy? And then Vayitzak tza'aka gedola umara Haman cried a bitter crying. And he said, Dad, do you have anything left to give me? And Yitzchak said, no, sorry, I have nothing left to give you. I gave everything to Yaakov. But he said one thing. You'll live by the sword. You will worship your brother. By the way, some of the Mekubalim learned, with Moshe David Valley. This was the gift of Christianity, or call it whatever you want to call it. You will worship your brother. You will worship a Jew. Esav was told, V'yasachicha ayid tavod, you will worship. Now, here's the key. V'haya kasher tarid. And it will be, Rashi explains, when you have cause to be aggrieved, when you have cause to be troubled, when you have cause to have a valid taina, and to say, why does Yaakov deserve the bracha? He's not even observing the law. He is not keeping the Torah. I should get the bracha. V'haya ka'asher tarid. And it will be when you have cause to be aggrieved, ufarakta ulay me'al tzavarecha, you will cast off his yoke from upon your neck. You know what we call this? An opt-out clause. That even though Yitzchak gave the bracha to Yaakov, and he gave nothing to Esav, he gave Esav an opt-out clause. You know, like these high-priced, overpaid athletes. If they perform well in a year or two, and they were signed for a 10-year contract, they can opt out of their contract and try to get bigger money somewhere else. That is what happened over here. Even though Yitzchak gave the bracha to Yaakov, and he gave Esav nothing, he gave Esav an opt-out clause. And he said, Esav, if you ever have cause to be aggrieved, you could cast off his yoke from upon your neck, and you could take the brachos for yourself. So that is exactly what Haman is trying to do in the story of the Megillah. He's trying to get the Jews to sin. He's trying to exercise the opt-out clause of Ahaya Kasher Tarid and retrieve and reclaim the brachos for himself. That is why in the Megillah, look at number 13. Va'toimer Esther lahasach va'titzaveu el Mordechai. Look in the Targum. Va'amares Esther lahasach. And Esther said to Hasach, Lemezal, to go u'lemalala leMordechai, and to speak to Mordechai. Ufakedasle, and command him. Go tell Mordechai, Esther tells Daniel. Tell Mordechai, D'lo yigare im Haman. Stop provoking Haman. Stop instigating Haman. Devavu arum devavu devene Yaakov Esav avenotarle. Because Haman still is guarding and preserving and is angry. He is livid. He is livid about what happened between Yaakov and Esav. He's very upset about it. Now, so what we're learning is that the story of the Megillah dates back to the time of Yaakov and Esav. Dates back to the fight and the struggle between when Yaakov stole the birthright, so to speak, from Esav, and he stole the blessing from Esav, and he dressed up as Esav. And Yaakov got the brachos, and Haman is preserving and guarding and remembering the long-standing feud. Now I want to share with you a comment of the Vilna Gaon, that this comment is so profound and so ennobling, you could literally spend your entire life studying this comment, and don't worry, you're not going to have to spend the rest of your life studying it. But at B'siyata D'Shmaya, we are going to gain a clear understanding of what the Vilna Gaon means. We know by the as the story is starting to turn, the pasuk says in Parak Ches, "O Mordechai yatzam lefnei hamelech belvush malchus techelas v'chor v'atar zahav gedoyla v'sachrich butz v'argaman v'ha'yer shushan sohalav v'samecha." So Mordechai goes out, he's wearing garments of 5 different colors. La Yehudim, Haisa'ira, V'simcha, V'sasayin, V'kar, O V'chamadina, O Medina, O V'chol Yer V'ir, Mekayim Asher, V'amelech V'dasay Magia, Simcha V'sasayin La Yehudim, Mishtev, V'yayim Ta'iv. Very nice. Comes the Gra. V'kan, and the Gra in his commentary to Megillas Esther amazingly says, V'kan niskayim b'Mordechai heve gvir la'achicha. Here it was fulfilled in Mordechai, you will rule over your brother. What is that referring to? That, of course, refers to the bracha that Yitzchak gave Yaakov Avinu. Heve gvir la'achecha. Okay, that's one element of what the Gra says that needs to be worked out. Ki mitchila ish Yehudi. In the beginning, he was just a man. And then he was a Mordechai Yatza. He was Mordechai. Then he was Nisala ki Mordechai ha-Yehudi. And then the Gra says, V'Yisrael b'yud dvarim. The Jewish people got 10 things. Huh? What does the Holy Gra mean? That the Jewish people got 10 things. What are the 10 things that the Jewish people got? And what is the significance of the fact that they got 10 things? Well, Rav Shlomo Brevda, who is very dedicated to publishing and writing on the works of the Vilna Gaon, says, you know what the 10 things are? Here they are. Ve'ayir Shushan Sahala 1, V'Samehecha 2, La Yehudim Haisa Ayra 3, V'Simcha 4, V'Sasayin 5, V'Ikar 6, V'Chamadina Umidina V'Chalir V'Yemekamash Adamach V'Asay V'Agia Simcha 7, V'Sasayin 8, Mishteh 9, Yom Tov 10. Here we have the 10 things. And the question is, what are the 10 things? What's the significance about 10 things? What do you mean? Here the Jews got 10 things. What were they supposed to get 10 things? Is it good to get 10 things? Why didn't they get 11 things? Why didn't they get 9 things? What is the import of that which the Jews got 10 things?
Simcha is mentioned numerous times. What is the difference in the three different simchas?
The first simcha is the first simcha, the second simcha is the second simcha, and the third one is the third one. 10 different signs of, you're right, it does say the same word 3 times. The first time it's visamecha, the second time it's visimcha, and the third time it's just simcha. So actually it's spelled differently each time. But okay, that certainly is worthy of study as well. But what is the significance of the fact that they got 10 things? Now, I tell you this completely objectively. Adam Arishon was told, Mikol Eitz Hagan Achal Toichel, Ume Eitz Hagan Mikol Eitz Hagan Achal Toichel, Ume Eitz Hadas Toivara Loi Soichel Mimenu. Don't eat from the Eitz Hadas. Yeah? What does Adam Arishon do? He eats from the Eitz Hadas. What's the Eitz Hadas? According to some opinions, it is a gefen. According to many, I believe the Ohr HaChaim HaKadosh, Adam was eventually supposed to eat from the Eitz Hadas. Friday night, he was going to make Kiddush on it. But what did he do? He had premature Kiddush. Adam Arishon started the Kiddush club. He drank from the Eitz Hadas a little bit too early, and he brought death to the world. Marv Rabbeisai, now do you see how harmful premature Kiddush is? You think you're just sneaking down in the middle of Kriyas HaTorah for a little Kiddush. You've just jeopardized your entire life. You left during Kriyas HaTorah? Shulchan Aruch says, V'oizvei Hashem yichlu. A little Kiddush club is not so harmless. It's not an innocuous thing. Look what happened the first time. Anyway, that's just a little free, unsolicited advice. But Adam Arishon ate from the Eitz Hadas. Who persuaded him to eat from the Eitz Hadas? The Nachash. We know there's a connection between the sin in the times of Purim, of being nene from the Suda of Achashverosh, and the sin of the Eitz Hadas. Gemara in Chulin, Daf Kuf Lamed Tes. Haman min HaTorah minayin, Hamin ha'etz. The remez to Haman in the Torah is literally found in the context of the sin of the Eitz Hadas. As if What Haman was trying to do in the times of Purim was to trying to arouse and be ma'ira the sin of the Eitz Hadas. Comes the Gra in his commentary to Sefer Rus called Hadras Kodesh. And the Gra points out something that's literally out of this world. Look at number 19. Uli Adam Amar Kishamat Ala Koileshtecha Va'atoicha Min Oetz Asher Tzivisicha Le'moir Lo Yisoichal Mimenu. So here are the repercussions for Adam making premature Kiddush. Arura Adama Ba'avurecha.
This is not a valid menu option.
Arura Adama Ba'avurecha Be'id Savain Toichelena Kol Yemei Chayecha. So number 1, Arura Adama. Number 2, Be'id Savain Toichelena. Number 3, V'koitz. Number 4, V'dardar Tatzmiach Lach. V'yachalta es Esav Asada. That's number 5. B'zei Asapecha is number 6. Ad Shuvcha, until you return, is number 7. That means Ki mimena lukachta. That's what you're taken. What does that mean? Originally, Adam Rishon was created afar minho adama, from the mizbeach, and then he became dirt. Ki afar ata, even when you're alive, vial afar tashuv is you will be reincarnated. These are the curses that accrue to Adam Rishon by eating from the Eitz Hadas. Number 1, arura ha'adama. Number 2, b'itzavan toichlena. V'koitz, v'dardar, v'achatas kol esev, b'zeh sa'apecha, ad shuvcha, ki yimenu lukachta, ki afrat v'yal afar tashav. How many curses? The Gra says, amazingly, 10 curses. When Adam made Kiddush before Shabbos, and he ate from the Eitz Hadas, he brought destruction to the world, and he was given 10 curses. And how many blessings was Yaakov Avinu given by Yitzchak Avinu? Look at number 20. V'yitan lecha ha'elohim mital hashamayim u'mishmanei ha'aretz v'roiv dagan v'siroish ya'avducha amim v'yishtachavu lecha lumim hevei gvir la'achach v'yishtachavu lecha b'nei imecha ayrerecha arur mevarechecha baruch. Now look here. Mital hashamayim 1, Mishnei Haaretz 2, v'roiv dagan 3, v'siroish 4, ya'avducha amim 5, v'yishtachavu lecha 6, v'gvir lecha 7, v'yishtachavu b'nei imecha 8, arucha arur 9, v'arecha baruch. Marv Rabbi says the Gra that Yaakov Avinu was given 10 blessings by his father Yitzchak. And these 10 blessings are keneged and compensating for the 10 curses that Adam Arishon was cursed with. Instead of b'id savain toichlena mital hashamayim, which is besimcha. Instead of arura adama mishmane aretz. Instead of koitz v'dardar v'roiv dagan v'siroish. How many blessings? 4. Those 4 blessings correspond to the 4 curses that we have in the first pasuk, and the 6 blessings correspond to the 6 curses in the second pasuk. Marv Rabbi, we have now constructed a new understanding of the events of world history. There was a man by the name of Adam. When he was born, Vayevorech Elokim es ha'adam, God blessed Adam. He was blessed. And then the Nachash came along, and the Nachash incited Adam to eat from the Eitz Hadas. He got him to participate in a Kiddush club, which ended up destroying him and the whole world. And he was thrust, he was hurled into a state of great curse, into a state of Arur. He's now Arur. How long does man remain Arur for? Until the time of Yaakov Avinu. When Yaakov Avinu on that fateful day goes in front of his father Yitzchak, and Yitzchak blesses Yaakov Avinu. V'yitin l'cha Elokim mital hashamayim, mishmanei haaretz, v'roiv dagan, v'siroish, yavducha amim, shtachlu amim, hevei gvir la'achecha, v'shtachlu b'nei imecha, oyrecha v'recha baruch. we were now extricated from the state of being cursed, and we are now in a state of blessing. We are now blessed. We are now blessed. We are Baruch. And who's cursed? Esav is cursed. And for how long do we remain in this state? There is a sinister, wicked man by the name of Haman, and he seeks to turn us back to the state we were in when we participated in the first Kiddush Club, when we ate from the Eitz Hadas. And that was, we became Arur. So Haman advises Achashverosh to get us to be Nene from the Suda, and that is Ma'ora, the sin of the Eitz Hadas. And now the Jewish people are again cursed, because that's the fight between Haman and Mordechai. It's the same age-old fight between Yaakov and Esav. Who is Baruch and who is Arur? Who is blessed and who is cursed? And Haman very successfully, as the holy books teach us, Haman is the embodiment of the Nachash, Hamin Ha'etz. He is the Nachash HaKadmoni himself. However, in the times of Purim, we do tshuva, and God has mercy on us. Oh, now amazingly, you should fly up to the heavens when you hear this. When we do tshuva in the times of Purim, and Hashem turns the table on Haman, and Haman falls. Mordechai yatzam lefnei hamelech belvush malchus teches v'chor v'tazagda v'yargaman v'hoyer shushan tzahala 1 v'samecha 2 lahidamaisa ayra 3 v'simcha 4 v'sasain 5 v'ikar 6 simcha 7 sasain 8 mishte 9 Yom Tov 10. Now we understand the Gra. Mordechai is a fulfillment of Heve Gevir La'achecha. Mordechai retrieves. It's a reclamation project of the brachos that Yaakov got from Yitzchak. And it's Niskayim in Mordechai. He's Heve Gevir La'achecha. And now we understand the holy words of the Gra. V'Yisrael b'Yud Devarim. We got back the 10 blessings. We got the 10 blessings back. Understand now the movement, the transition of world history. Adam starts off, he's blessed. The Nachash gets him to sin, he gets 10 curses. Yaakov gets blessed by Yitzchak, we're extricated from the 10 curses. Haman gets us to be Nana from the Suda. We have the 10 curses again. We do tshuva, and now we retrieve, we reclaim, have a gvir la'achecha, and that's what the Gra means, v'Yisrael b'Yud Devarim. By the way, the Aderas Eliyahu says on the pasuk in Devarim, "Va'ashar cherev gavasecha," and your sword is your arrogance, is your haughtiness. This was in the times of Haman, that he wrote to kill the Jews by the sword. And what happened? No, he was not able to kill us with the sword. We turned it back on him. How is the cherev a remez to Haman? The answer is, the cherev is what Esav gets when he exercises his opt-out clause of Va'asher cherev gavasecha v'haya ka'asher tarod ufarakta ulai me'al tzavarecha v'al charbecha sichya. In other words, whenever Haman, whenever Amalek, whenever Esav has cause to be aggrieved, they can say, you know what? The brachos don't belong to you Jews. We can take them back for ourselves, and we could put you in the category of being cursed. This explains amazingly how the 10 blessings in the times of Purim overcame the 10 curses of Adam Arishon, which were originally overcome by the blessing Yitzchak gave Yaakov, but then were lost in the times of Purim. So you'll say, what do you mean? I already read this whole thing in the Sefer Magid HaRakia in Perek Lamed. By the way, if you want to get the Sefer, it's available, rabbidg.com. Rabbi Moskowitz, maybe I'll bother Rabbi Moskowitz to just put the name of the website on the chat, but you could get it. But now I'm going to tell you something that's not in the Sefer. So if you have the sefer, you could write it in, and we have to put in the next edition. When I was a kid, my father told me an amazing Rabbi Yonasan Eibeshitz. It's one of my favorite pieces in Rabbi Yonasan Eibeshitz. And Rabbi Yitzchak Isaac Chaver uses this Rabbi Yonasan Eibeshitz to add some insight into the story, and it will really be illuminated based on the way we're presenting it today. Achashverosh has a problem with his wife. Now, if you have a problem with your wife, I'm going to give you 4 options. Tell me which one makes the most sense. A, you could go to a therapist. B, you could go to a psychologist. C, you could go to a marriage counselor. And D, you could go to a stargazer. Stargazer. Now, I don't know about you. I don't think the stargazer option makes that much sense. You'll say, it's as good as any, huh? But that's what Achashverosh does. He goes to the Chachamim Yoidei Ha'itim. What's he going to the Chachamim Yoidei Ha'itim? So Rabbi Yonasan Eibeshitz has an amazing cheshbon. He says, we say in the Haggadah Shel Pesach, Vashti's father. Who is Vashti's father? Anybody know? For the Hoover vacuum cleaner. Who is Vashti's father?
Was Melech Paras.
Okay, pretty good. We're getting closer. I saw somebody mouth Belshazzar. Okay, Reb Nosson got the right answer, but I don't have to give him the vacuum cleaner because he was muted, so I didn't hear it. So, fine. But he got the right answer. And he doesn't want to vacuum anyway. So, Belshazzar. Now, when did Belshazzar die? Belshazzar was killed the night of Pesach. Now, we know Achashverosh wanted Esther to come display herself. But, maybe she didn't come because she has Yartzeit that night. She has Yartzeit for her father. And in Paras, they observed Yartzeit very religiously. So, you can't expect the lady to come out if she has Yartzeit for the father. Now, the question is like this. The party started in the beginning of the year because that's when Gentiles mark their calendar, mark the beginning of their reign, Chodesh Tishrei. So the party began Rosh Hashanah. And it lasted Yamim Rabim Shmainim Amas Yamim Rabim Shmainim. Now 180 days is 6 months. But every other month is Chasar, so it gets you to Gimel Nisan. The Manois Halevi says Yamim is 2 days, Rabim is 3 days. So it's 5 days and then 180. That gets you to Ches Nisan. And then in Shushan, he made a party for 7 days. That gets you to Pesach. And says Rabbi Yonasan Eibeshitz, so Achashverosh thought to himself, maybe I can't kill Vashti because she has Yartzeit. But if it's an Iber, so it's Adar Beis, she doesn't have Yartzeit. So he had to call not the marriage counselors or the therapists, he had to call the stargazers from Yisachar to determine the calendar date, whether he would be allowed to kill Vashti or not. Now, here's an interesting question. Esther, says Rabbi Yitzchak Isaac Chaver, she gets up the guts to go into Achashverosh, and she didn't want to go. She tells Mordechai, so what does Mordechai say? If you're going to be quiet, you're going to go down and we'll be saved elsewhere. So Esther says, I'm all in. So Esther comes to the party. And Achashverosh says, what would you like? Fine. Come to the party. And now, we come to the most dramatic moment in the Megillah. Achashverosh turns to Esther. And she says, Ma she'elasech v'yinasein lach, u'ma ba'kashasech oid v'seyas. Va'atoimer Esther, She'elasi uvakashasi. This is the moment we've all been waiting for. The Balei HaMikra have given this the most dramatic trop. She'elasi uvakashasi. We would think, here it is, Esther's going to ask to save her life. What does she say? She says, do me a favor, come with Haman tomorrow. Yavai HaMelech v'Haman el HaMashiach u'machares kidvar HaMelech. Wait a second. That is such a tease. We have this she'elasi ubakashasi. She's about to let it all out. And what's the big request? Build the Beis Hamikdash, save the Jews? No! Let's party tomorrow. What's going on about tomorrow? Why are we waiting till tomorrow? The answer, says Rabbi Yitzchak Isaac Chaver, this whole fight over here is about who gets the brachas. Yaakov stole the brachas from Esav. When did Yaakov steal the brachas from Esav? It was Pesach. Haman wants them back. Haman is exercising the opt-out clause of V'haya Kasher Tared. This whole episode starts on Yud Gimel Nisan. Esther is now standing on Erev Pesach. She says, if we're going to get our blessings back, it has to be on the very date we got them, which is Pesach. We got to do this tomorrow. Tomorrow we got to reclaim the brachos. That's the day when the brachos are firmly established in our possession. Marvra Aboisai. You know, you have this lady, her name is Zeresh. And she seems like a pretty smart lady. It seems like she only made one bad mistake in her life. And why'd she marry that Chileria? But Vayisaper Haman Lizaresh Ishtal Choleava Veis Kasher Karahu Vayomeru Lo Yechachama Vizaresh Ishtai Mizara Hayudim. If he is from Jewish seed, Mordechai Asher Hachi Loisal and Palafanav Loisuchaloi Kinafalti Palafanav. This is a very strange pasuk. It's very hard to understand. Oh, Mordechai is a Jew. If he's from the Zera Yehudim, that you began to fall before him, you're a dead man. You're finished. If he's a Jew and you started to fall, forget it. You're going to fall all the way. Huh? I don't understand. I mean, aren't there good days and bad days? You know, Reb Volba writes that there are moods in life and cycles in life, and there are days of happiness and days of sadness and days of success and days of failure. I mean, what's she telling Haman? Oh, Mordechai's a Jew, and you started to fall, you're dead. I mean, to use the analogy, if you're playing football and your team is down 7-0, so does the coach of the other team say, oh, you're down 7-0, it's all over, game is over, you might as well call it quits and just give up now? Of course not. Okay, you're getting the ball back and you give it a try, you give it an attempt. Why does Zara say if you started to fall before him and he's a Jew, you're dead? Marv so we find that as we mentioned, the relationship and the fight between Haman and Mordechai dates back many generations, dates back to the machlokes and the dispute between Yaakov and Esav. And they're fighting over the brachos. And we know they share a very unique relationship. It is not a symbiotic relationship, but it's an antithetical relationship. The pasuk says, "Vayomer Hashem la." God said to Rivka, "Shnei goyim b'vitneich u'shnei lumim mimeich yiparedu." These two regimes will separate from your loins. Ule'oim miloim ye'ematz. One nation will fill itself and become strong from the other. V'rav ya'avo yitzay. The Gemara Megillah comments, we have two world forces, Rome and Yerushalayim, Caesarea, Caesarea, and Yerushalayim. If somebody says they're both destroyed, they're lying. If somebody says they're both believed, they're lying. If somebody says Jerusalem is destroyed and Caesarea is built, possible. Yerushalayim is built, Caesarea is destroyed, possible. imala hacharava, imalea zu, charava zu. If this one is full, the other one is destroyed, and vice versa. But they both cannot be built and strong simultaneously. Miloim ye'ematz, loy yishvu begedula, Rashi says. Imala hacharava. One is fulled only from the destruction of the other. They both cannot be powerful simultaneously. Now Rashi utters the immortal words that you could glance over and you could read Chumash and Rashi 1,000 times and you'll miss it. Lo yishvu begedula. Yaakov and Esav will never be equal. Kishezeh kam zeh noifel. When this one rises, this one falls. Rashi in this pasuk is giving Yaakov a new name. You know what his new name is? Anybody? Rashi's new name, Yaakov's new name is Zeh. Kishezeh come. And Esav is given a new name. You know what Esav's new name is? Zeh. They're both called Zeh. They're given a name Zeh. Megala Mukos says like 2 spoons of a scale. Oh, says Megala Mukos. This week's Shabbos, we're going to read Parsha Zachar. And right before we read Zachar. By the way, what's the trup on Zachar? Zakev Gadol. Why Zakev Gadol? What's a Zakev Gadol? A Vav and 2 Yuds. 26. Tvi Mashlim L'Shem Hashem. The Ramami Pano says that was destroyed by Amalek and it was made in half. That's why the trup is Zakev Gadol. Zachar Eis. Now, Yaakov is Zeh. And Esav is Zeh. They're both 2 spoons of the scale. What does it say immediately before the Psukim and Kiseitze of Zachar? It says, Mois Neit Tzedek. Avneit, it's talking about fair scales. A remez to Yaakov and Esav. Each one is called Zeh. That is why Vatikra Esther Lahasach Misarei Hamelach Hashem Milfanei Vatzvei Mordechai Ladas Mazeh V'al Mazeh. Esther wanted to know, where is this Zeh holding and where is that Zeh holding? Is one going up? Is one going down? Which one's going up and which one's going down? And Haman, when he sees Mordechai, he says, V'chol Zeh Einenu Shayveli. And all of this, I don't like this Zeh. I don't like the fact that this Zeh is not falling to me. And I would add V'chol, who's called Koil, Bakoil, Mikoil, Koil, Yaakov, V'koil, Yaakov, Zeh, who Rashi calls a Zeh, Einenu Shayveli, is worthless to me. And even Achashverosh, he knows about this. Vayomer Amelch Achashverosh, Vayomer li Esther Amalka, Mihu Zeh, V'yezehu. All right. In this heavyweight, this battle of the titans, the battle of the Zez, Mihu Zeh v'yezehu. Which Zeh is going up, and which Zeh is going down? This is what we say in Koheles. B'yayim toiva heyeh v'toiva v'yayim ra'eh gam es Zeh li'um hazeh asalakim. God made 2 Zehs, one opposite each other. That is the story of the Megillah. Kishezeh kam zeh noifel. Zeresh was a smart lady. She says to Haman, Mizera yudim Mordechai asher loisa lin poilafanav. Once the scales start moving and you start to fall, loisuchaloi ki nafal tipo lafanav. Now, says the holy Vilna Gaon in his commentary to the Safra D'Tzniusa, Adam Arishon was born blessed, but he was cursed because he sinned with the Eitz Hadas. How did he sin with the Eitz Hadas? The Nachash tricked him. And his cloak, his coat was taken away. His garment was taken away. So if the Nachash tricked Adam to be cursed, Yaakov has to deal with Esav, who is the Nachash, in the same way, im ikesh titapol, he has to trick Esav. Esav stole the begadim of Adam HaRishon, who was seduced by the Nachash. And therefore Yaakov took the garments of Esav, who are the garments of Adam, back. And he says, you tricked Adam to be cursed, I'm going to trick you and get the blessings back. So for Yaakov to get the blessings, what did Yaakov have to do? Yaakov had to wear a costume. You want to get those blessings back? Yaakov had to put on his best Esav costume. He took the begadim of Esav, which were originally the begadim of Adam HaRishon. The Rabbi Yitzchak Isaac Chaver says, he was, just like the Nachash took his Malbushim, his Kasnois Ar, until Yaakov came, who is the Gilgal of Adam HaRishon, and the Shufrei of Adam HaRishon. He went Ba'arma and Esav, and he took his begadim, and Esav is the Nachash HaKadmoni. And through the sin of the Yetzer Das, he took the garments of Adam. So yeah, what does Yaakov have to do? Vatikach Rivkas big day Esav b'na Agada Chamudais. And Esav saw the kesoines that Kosh Baruch made for Adam, and he wanted it, the Pirkei Rebbe Lezer says, and he became mighty. And when Yaakov came to Yitzchak, he said, Ein Esav Arash Roy Libash as Ketainas Halazeh. Interesting. Marv Rabbi Sai, I want to say a Chiddush. Purim is the day that we celebrate the reclamation of the blessings that Yaakov stole from Esav. These were the blessings that Adam HaRishon were given. And we lost it because of the sin of the Eitz Hadas. Because of the sin of the Eitz Hadas, we got 10 curses. What were they? Arura Adama, Bitzav and Toichlena, Koitz, Dardar, Esav Hasada. By the way, Dardar is a remiss to Dardar, to Amalek. And we got it back when Yaakov Avinu was given the blessing. And therefore, Purim is the reclamation project of the brachos. Yaakov got the brachos back by putting on his Esav costume. That may be a source for Minhag Yisrael to dress up on Purim, because it is a reminder that what is transpiring is the reclamation of the brachos that Adam HaRishon was given, the brachos that Yitzchak gave Yaakov Avinu, that he got by putting on his Esav costume. Marv Rabbi Sai. This is the relationship between Yaakov and Esav. Kishazeh kam zeh noifel. Ula'oim miloim yematz. It's all about who is kam and who is noifel. The pasuk says, "Melai libai la'asois kain." His heart was filled to do this. Why the word melai? Says Rav Meir of Jikov. Melai is a lashon of ula'im melaim yamatz. This was a fulfillment that when one rises, the other one falls. Right? Mihu zeh v'ezehu. Who is the zeh going up? Who is the zeh going down? Asher meloi libai. Who is going to act as the la'oim melaim yamatz? Kisha zeh kam zeh noifel. Watch this. Look at number 46. It's all about, the Purim story is all about who's the kam and who's the noifel. So in the beginning of the pasuk, in the beginning of the Megillah, Parak Hey, Vayetze Haman b'yemahu sameach v'toiv lev v'chirais Haman es Mordechai v'shar hamelech v'loi kam. Mordechai is loi kam. In the beginning of the story, Mordechai is not kam. So Mordechai is Neufel in the beginning of the story. And V'hamelech come. The Melech Achashverosh is come. He's getting up, but we're Neufel. And Haman is Amad. Haman's standing. But all of a sudden things turn. V'Haman Neufel. All of a sudden Haman is falling. V'Tokam Esther, and Esther has come. V'Tokam Esther. That's the movement of the Megillah. In the beginning, Haman is come. Mordechai is not come. By the end of the story, Haman is Neufel. V'Tokam Esther. That's the story of the Megillah. Zeh come, v'zeh Neufel. Says the Imrei Noyam of Jacob. The Gematria of Purim is Zeh come, v'zeh Neufel. Ayam ben. That's the story. When this one falls, this one gets up. When this one gets up, this one falls. These are the two zehs. Mi, hu, zeh, v'ei zehu. V'chol zeh, einenu shoyvel li. Ladas, ma zeh, v'al ma zeh. Who are the zehs? Going up or going down? Purim is the day that we have to determine and establish and stamp and be koiveya. Who is Baruch? And who is Aror? And therefore, not only do we sing, not only is it recommended, on Purim we could suggest Chayiv Loimar, Baruch Mordechai, Baruch Kol HaTzadikim, Aror Haman, Aror Esav, Aror Nachash. Let's establish for all eternity who the blessings belong to. The blessings, the 10 blessings of Yitein L'cha Elokim Mitah Hashem Shani Aretz V'Avdam V'Sirash, they belong to us. Tzoala, Samecha, Oira, Simcha, Sasain, Vikar, Simcha, Sasain, Mishta, V'Yamtav. And who do the curses belong to? They belong to Aror Haman, Aror Zeresh, Aror Harashaim. We'll give them the following. B'zei asapecha toicha lechem, Aruro ha'adama, Koitzen dardar, ad shuvcha adama, ki mimeno lukachta, ki afar ata, v'al afar tashuv. That's the story of Purim, my friends. It is the eternal struggle between Yaakov and Esav, vying for the rights to the blessings of Abraham, the blessings of Yitzchak, the blessings that Adam and Rishon were given and they lost with the sin of the Eitz Hadas. Marv Rabbi Sai, we hope that this Purim we could be zoicha to keep and hold on to those blessings forever, to eradicate v'alafar tashuv v'koitz v'dardar tatzmiach lach ad shuvcha el ha'adama. Therefore we say, kol hayomim tovim b'telem chutz mi Purim. Purim will never become batal, because Purim reflects the realm that is beyond the curse of the sin of the Eitz Hadas. Purim represents and reflects the time of eternity, which transcends all of the descent of the 10 klalos of Adam HaRishon. May we be zoicha to achieve and receive the brachos min hashamayim, v'yitein lecha ha'alakim, mital hashamayim, mishmanei ha'aretz, v'roiv dagon, v'sirosh, Yavducha amim, yishtachavu lecha le'umim, heve gver la'achecha, yishtachavu lecha b'nei yimecha, oirorecha arur, umevarachecha baruch. Rabbi Sai, Afrei Lechin Purim, thanks for listening. Shkayach.
Thank you very much. 4:30 today, Rabbi?
Yeah.
4:30 today?
Yes, 4:30 today.
Why wasn't Abraham Torah?
You've just experienced another Torah class brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.